Support for this podcast comes from PayPal. Small business owner? PayPal QR codes are the safe and easy payment option. It's all the security PayPal is known for online, in person. Cash only? QR codes allow you to accept credit or debit with everyday low fees. No additional hardware or software needed. Use the app to generate your unique QR code. Customers scan your code with their PayPal app to pay you. Learn more at paypal.com/us/getqrcode.
Adam, are you recording?
Yeah, I am. You're high, Bonnie.
I know, I'm so stoned.
Coming to you live from our houses in Los Angeles, California, it's Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone, your comedy field guide to life. Tonight, table for two, please. With theaters still closed, Paula continues her search for another job. Could she handle the rigors of being a restaurant hostess? Can she deal with the flood of customers who all want the window seat in a joint that during the pandemic only has one window seat? Tracy Willet was in the New York City restaurant business for over a dozen years. She's here to give Paula the menu of skills she needs to work the front of the house. Plus, Ireland. Toni and Cap'n and Bonnie Burns, God help us, give us the lowdown on the Emerald Isle, a country which is littered with men named Thomas Coyne. I'm Adam Felber, the man who every week tries to guide our conversational seating to a rational order by placing the unsavory topics by the metaphorical kitchen door and letting the handsome discussion sit in our front window. And now, please welcome the woman who never has a seating chart and greets our guests with a poo-poo platter of topical digression. That'd be Paula Poundstone.
Hey, you guys. It's so nice to be with all of you. I want to thank tonight's house band, Nobody Zack Ford on the piano, coming to us from Washington, D.C. Thank you, Zack.
Thank you,
Sounds
Zack.
Fabulous. I think it's important that the listeners have a little backstory here, which is that Bonnie Burns has had
dental procedure.
She's had an infection in a tooth or some bad dental problem that's very painful.
It's an abscess.
Thank you. It's an abscess. And
okay,
so they told her to alternate, what was it, Tylenol with Advil? Was that it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
They said take, I'm so stoned, I can't even say the words.
But my point to you is you cannot be stoned from Tylenol and Advil. So she's psychosomatically stoned. No, you can't.
Tony, Google it.
No, you don't get stoned from that. But
yes, you can take enough to get pretty high.
No,
and Bonnie
you
has
can't.
taken.
No,
Bonnie has
that's
taken too
ridiculous.
much. We've established that.
Yeah, no, she was like that already. So my, when somebody that you know and love is in pain and you feel helpless, and so I was trying to think, what I could do for Bonnie, and the truth is not a lot, but I did find this little piece in a newspaper. A Massachusetts man who fell asleep while listening to tunes with his earbuds couldn't down a sip of water the morning after. An X-ray taken at a local hospital revealed the man had accidentally swallowed one of the wireless plastic earbuds, and it became lodged in his lower esophagus. I just wanted to put that out there because, as many of you know, Bonnie had at one point had a plastic cover from an earbud stuck in her ear for, I think it was a month, and she didn't know it was there. And instead, she just had like a terrible headache and a bad earache. And finally, she went to the doctor, and he just pulled out it was like a clown car of things that she had lost were stuck in her ear. But the thing on the surface was the plastic earbud
the
cover.
silicone tip of the earbud, yeah.
Exactly. So I just would like to make tonight's episode, I would really like to make the theme of vindicating Bonnie. She's not the only one. That kind of thing can happen. I want to make this a comfort food episode for Bonnie.
Okay.
Captain
This is
Crinkle.
already fated to be a very special episode because we've got Captain Crinkle intoxicated on non-intoxicating drugs.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, you are without your Paula Poundstone. You're without your assistant Wendell for the first time since we started doing these quarantine broadcasts. So you are accompanied by 2 dogs right next to you, right?
Right. Usually, unbeknownst to the listener, my assistant Wendell is with me, and he has the job, among other things, of letting the dogs in and out so that they don't bother the neighbors barking and so that they don't make too much noise in my room. But now, in fact, I'm looking over at my dog Mo, who has a party hat with a chin strap and a noisemaker in her mouth. So I don't think it's going to go all that well. But
I just want to say that my job on this podcast is not easy in the best of times, and this is not the best of times tonight.
No, it's going to be very, very difficult.
It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
But before we move on, Paula, we're about to get to our book club, our Moby Dick book club meeting. But I have some amazing news for you.
What's that?
You know our friend Kevin Kelso, friend of the show. He wrote those great theme song stuffs, and he's been our house band.
Yeah.
He's written a theme song for our book club.
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah, take a listen to this because it's pretty special. Landromo, tee it up.
Call me Adam Felber, please listen and take heed. I am the sole survivor of a book club that set out to read Moby Dick, Moby Dick. Our captain, Paula Poundstone, picked out this weighty tome. She swore we had to read it before she let us sail for home. Moby Dick, Moby Dick. The section about whaling was a whole new kind of dull. It shattered into splinters our ship's Toni Anita hull. Then Bonnie Crinkle Burns said, Paula, look at me. I'm the captain now. Then Paula cried, that's mutiny. Moby Dick, Moby Dick. The last thing I remember before I washed ashore was Ken Lezebnik screaming, bashing someone with an oar. My name is Adam Felber. Now you've heard my tragic tale of how we came to ruin when our book club chased that great white whale. Moby Dick, Moby Dick.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, that's fantastic, isn't it? I'm just going to say, I feel seen by Kevin Kelso. Like, we are really embarking on, a real challenging literary task here, and Kevin appreciates what we're doing, and I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. Kevin, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. And I feel a little puffed up by it, Like, you're right. Like, it's a mission. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate of reading. We started to read Moby Dick. As you know, Toni Anita Hall tried to jump ship any number of times. And
right. We've kept her on the steady.
Yeah. I've insisted that we stay the course.
Okay. Well, let me call this meeting to order. Here we go. I hereby call our meeting of the Moby Dick Book Club to order. Paula Poundstone, you were talking, please.
Yes, thank you. I reclaim my time.
Reclaiming my time.
Yeah, reclaiming my time. I'm really enjoying reading Moby Dick. It's very deep, and I'm, as you know, a deep person. And
yes.
so
but tell us what your experience specifically of chapters, I think it was 35 to 39 that we were doing this week.
As you know, I'm a very deep person. And,
yes.
well,
Yeah.
you go first. Go ahead, you go first.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Full disclosure, and this is hard for me, but I have to confess that last week Toni Anita Hull mentioned she'd rather read Cosmo magazine than Moby Dick. And so I ended up picking up an issue of Cosmo and reading that instead of Moby Dick.
You didn't.
I did. I read Cosmo this week.
You shallow. I can't believe that.
Okay, well,
here we're just talking about having a mission, the importance of the club, and steady as she goes, and you're reading Cosmo?
All right. I'm sorry. Well, let's go to Bonnie Burns. Bonnie Burns, tell us about chapters 34 to 39 or whatever it was, because I didn't read them. I read Cosmo.
Okay. Well, I have to say, I've really gotten into Moby Dick. It's a really gripping story. But when Toni started talking about Cosmo,
oh, wait a minute.
It's embarrassing to admit this. But I stopped at the 7-Eleven, and I almost felt like okay, I was embarrassed to be seen buying Cosmo because I've been pretty successful in my career, and the idea.
So Bonnie, did you not read Moby
Cosmo,
Dick this week and instead read Cosmo?
I did, and so I'm thinking, if you guys don't mind, I could share something I read in Cosmo.
But
Sure,
before we resort to that, let's go back to Paula. Clearly, I know Toni didn't read Moby Dick. Why don't you tell us about chapters 34 through 39 of Moby Dick?
Well, there's something I have to tell you. After Toni talked about Cosmo, I went out to buy one, but I found another magazine with the title Secrets to a Clean Home, and I bought that instead.
So
tell you why.
You didn't even... Yeah, okay.
I know, because right on the cover it says, make your spaces sparkle in 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour.
Wow.
Cleaning hacks that truly work. Who could... All right, look it. There's a section called Now What? Find smart fixes for life's little disasters. And here it is. Moths have invaded my dresser. The fix. Well, by the way, I don't even own a dresser, so that's one way of handling that.
Right.
The fix. Take everything out of your dresser and then use a vacuum to remove any visible moths. I would have known that without this fucking magazine. Yeah. Anything that looks like a moth. This is like a rich person's magazine, by the way.
Yeah.
Anything that looks like a moth in your dresser, you want to get that out of there. You don't even have, what is this magazine? Was it like $10 or something? You don't even have to pay me. That's a freebie. You got a moth in your dresser? Take it out. Yeah.
Wait, so you didn't read Moby Dick and you didn't pick up an issue of Cosmo?
Then wipe down your dresser inside and out with a damp cloth to remove any difficult-to-see larvae or eggs. Well, the other thing you might want to do is stop playing that sex. Don't play the moth sex music. That's a good idea, and then they won't be leaving larvae in your... That's a good idea.
All right. Thank you, Paula. Does anyone else here...
This is the opposite of Cosmo, Adam. On page 10... One of the secrets to a clean home is don't fuck.
Oh, yeah, that is not very true about Cosmo, but it's not even that good advice, but okay.
Yeah. No, it's part of the way you keep your house clean is you focus on the important stuff. Get the hell out of bed and get going. That's one of the things.
Does anybody else have, for want of anything else,
do.
Cosmo? Bonnie, share us your thoughts on this month's Cosmo.
Okay. Well, all right. So I went to a column that they have called Dieter's Notebook. And they had a couple of tips in there, to lose weight. And one of them was the one bowl diet. And
The one
you
bowl diet?
Yeah, the one bowl diet. And you could eat whatever you wanted as long as it fit in one bowl. Like you pick a bowl.
How big is the bowl, Bonnie?
They didn't say. They just said,
Well, there's the catch.
Yeah.
they just said you can eat whatever you want as long as it fits in one bowl.
So are you trying that?
No, then they had another tip. And that was about, how like a lot of people go off their diets when they go to restaurants because they don't have the nerve to like specify what they really need to stay on their diet. So their suggestion was like, say, for dinner, you're supposed to eat like a 3.5 ounce hamburger patty. So their suggestion was you get a postal scale, you bring it with you. When your meal comes,
Jesus.
you take the, like piece of hamburger, you weigh it on the postal scale so you know you're getting what you need to stay on your diet. And their point was, don't be afraid to get what you need. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
That is some of the worst advice I've ever heard in my life.
What's more important?
I wouldn't bring a postal scale. I would just bring like a big scale, and I would say to the waiter, I'd say, okay, hold that plate, and then step on this scale, and then I'd say, okay, now put the plate down and step on the scale again, and can you do that subtraction so I can know how much that food weighed?
That's how you
That
weigh
is
pets.
absurd. That is so absurd, telling somebody to bring a fucking scale into a restaurant. That's ridiculous.
I have to agree with you. Let me ask you something, Bonnie. I read this month's Cosmo cover to cover. I didn't see anything about the one bowl diet.
You didn't?
No.
Well, maybe I had, I got it at 7-Eleven. They don't, how like the issues come out, like maybe it's the March issue. You're still in February. Maybe I had the February issue.
No,
that might be it, because I read the March issue.
No, that's not what it is. The 7-Eleven edition has more stuff.
More stuff about food. And more stuff about how it's okay to eat anything you want.
Yeah,
as long as it comes in one bowl.
Yeah, the 7-Eleven edition usually says a lot of stuff about eating Kraft macaroni and cheese, donuts, hot dogs, and Slurpees, and that's very seductive to your man.
Toni and Hall, what are your impressions of what I'm guessing was a Cosmo issue this week?
How did you know it was a Cosmo issue? You know me so well. So, I was reading our horoscopes and I felt like all of them were very accurate.
Oh.
Really?
For everyone on this call. Yes. So Paula, you are a Capricorn, right?
Yeah.
So it says you're busting your ass to stay on top of your to-do list. Cappy and TBH, you're starting to feel very over it. Luckily, Aries season is like a month-long vacay for your sign.
Oh, so when I'm... So wait. So wait, when does my vacay start? Because I'm not feeling the vacay. I'm not feeling the vacay on the horizon here. I am busting my ass.
You are busting your ass.
But it's been at least, I don't know, 30 years of busting my ass, 35 years
on
of
March
busting my ass.
21st, that all changes, Paula Poundstone.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Thanks to Aries.
But wait, Toni, I just want to share with you one thing. Don't let wine spills on the tablecloth or grass stains on your child's pants worry you. Yeah, that is a privileged life. That's what's worrying you. You know, the tablecloth stains and the grass stains on my kids' pants. I'll tell you, at this point in our world, what one wouldn't give for a kid to have grass stains on their pants?
That's right.
Honey, go outside. Honey, get up and go outside. Go play outside for a little while. I don't want to. It's a dream come true. Grass stains on your child's pants. All right, go ahead, Toni. So who else's horoscope do you have?
Bonnie, are you a Gemini?
I am.
So your 9 to 5 is feeling like a 25-8, but you can thank Mars in your sign for giving you the stamina to get shit done, and also for seriously revving your sex drive.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's been noted by most listeners of this show that Bonnie's been kind of on the randy side over the last month or two. Maybe that's her horoscope that did it.
Yeah, what, Bonnie, what happened to your tooth again? It's a what?
Oh, do I have to repeat it? It's gross.
An abscess.
No,
Oh,
abscess.
thank you,
Yeah.
Toni and Nita.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Abscess. Boy, nothing turns, and you'll find this in the dark section of Cosmo. Nothing turns a woman on like a tooth abscess. That's. I mean, I don't even read Cosmo, and I knew that.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
let me just tell you something that I think you guys don't know. Oil-based stains require immediate attention, so just keep that in mind.
That's good to know. Toni, anything else, or does that cover us?
What about Adam?
Adam.
I didn't read your horoscope yet. You're
Okay.
a Cancer, right, Adam?
I am
I
indeed.
knew it.
I knew it.
I knew
I
it.
knew it.
So
I knew it.
you have big dreams, Cancer, but you're feeling stuck in your shell. Tip: it's okay to take things slow. Work toward your goal steadily, and you'll grow along the way.
Oh,
Yeah, that doesn't
you
feel
have
like me
been.
at all, does it?
Adam. No, it does. You have been growing. I've noticed it. You guys, have you
Here in
noticed
my shell?
how Adam's been growing? Yeah,
I've noticed it.
absolutely.
Are you saying
Yeah.
I'm fat?
No.
No,
feels
I'm
like
not
it.
talking about like that. No, I'm talking about, as a human being, really, really developing.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful nice of you.
Yeah. I've noticed it. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but I've noticed it.
Your involvement is
Yeah.
very impressive. Your evolvement is very impressive.
Oh
My
my
evolution.
gosh. It's his
Yeah.
evolution. Exactly. I don't think it's
Yeah.
involvement.
No.
Yeah.
You're so high, Bonnie. Okay.
She's not high. You can't get high from Advil.
Tell me that you've looked this up already, Toni.
I'm looking it up now.
You
I'm
can't.
busy
While you're
writing
looking it up, I want to report on my experience of Cosmo, and I was surprised because we've made fun of Toni for her Cosmo readership, and I hadn't looked at Cosmo in many, many years, and it is not bad in the way that it used to be. It's bad in an entirely new way.
I hate you, Adam.
For one, it's like it's only like 90 pages now, and this is going to disappoint Bonnie and Paula to some degree. All of the cliched sex stuff is basically gone. All that how to please your man, wrap yourself in cellophane, and cover yourself in whipped cream before he comes home stuff, and all the Cosmo advisor and all that stuff. That's gone.
Well, you could pencil it in and leave it for Jeannie.
I'm going to hide this one. I happen to get a hold. This month it's the acne issue, so it's a lot of articles about acne, and a lot of their articles are like just lists. They're little listicles, and it's all written like tweets, and it's all about people's Instagram feeds.
Oh my God, that's just how pathetic we've become.
But there is a guide, a tourist's guide to the prostate.
A tourist guide to the prostate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only really like old school. You'd expect to see that in Cosmo in the 80s kind of thing that's going on there. I'm going to encourage all you women out there who get Cosmo to not read that article.
Too late, Adam. Too late.
Because it's not like the information isn't good. It just seems to be a little too excited to encourage women to explore their man's prostate.
I didn't even know about prostate milking until now.
You see, I don't want you to know about that, Toni.
You
I would say
wait a
80
minute,
to
Toni.
90% of men don't want you to know about prostate milking.
Toni, you didn't know about prostate milking?
No.
Well, that's because you weren't raised on a farm.
No, that's a different kind of milking, Paula.
Oh, what are you kidding? No, it's a great alternative to dairy.
Oh,
That's
I just threw up in my mouth a
maybe
little
the
bit.
worst thing I've ever heard. Oh my God.
All right, I just want to say that one thing that I would advise everyone to do is drop 3 denture tablets into the toilet bowl. Let them sit for about 30 minutes. The non-abrasive chemicals lift away stains and kill bacteria without damaging the porcelain. It's just something I like to do.
You know, there was one piece that tells you how to get rid of the invisible files on your iPhone, and I thought that was very useful.
The invisible files?
Your iPhone fills up with invisible files over time, and there's a way to clear them out. And this
I don't know
the
what an
article does tell
invisible
you.
file is.
It's when you go to your settings and you try to see what's taking up space on your iPhone. There's a whole area that's literally a gray area on the bar graph that just says other. There's a way to get rid of all those.
I never heard of that.
It's like practical usage things for
I don't know.
dumbheads.
I don't get the identity of Cosmo. Toni, what is Cosmo nowadays? What is Cosmo to you? What I saw
Toni,
was
how has it helped you?
It's just something that's like mindless and stupid to read because it is mainly listicles and it's written at probably a 3rd grade level. So, if anyone's wondering which reality show I truly thrive on, it would be the Great British Baking Show.
It's just weird.
Okay, I guess that's the end of this segment due to the silence.
And with that, I am calling this week's Moby Dick Book Club to a close. And, Paula, do you have a word for us?
I think I do. Hold on. I do, but I think even more importantly, when you buy a caddy for your cleaning products, the kind that has compartments in it is more efficient than just the big open caddy. That's all I want to say.
So what's your word?
I have a word, Adam. It's ultracrepidarian. It's such a great word. Ultracrepidarian.
Okay.
It's an adjective that means expressing opinions on matters outside the scope of one's knowledge or expertise. It's also a noun that means a person who expresses opinions on matters outside the scope of their knowledge or expertise. Here, I'll use it in a sentence. I don't mean to be ultracrepidarian here, but I wouldn't worry about that pain in your chest. Isn't it a great word?
Yeah, it's a good word.
Yeah. I want to thank Susie Dent from Twitter for bringing it to my attention. And let's just put it right in my vocabulary song. Let's see. This week's word is ultracrepidarian. It's an adjective that means expressing opinions on matters outside the scope of one's knowledge or expertise. It's also a noun that means someone you'd describe as ultracrepidarian. Ultra-crepidarian, ultra-crepidarian, ultra-crepidarian. I think it's safe to eat that uncooked carrion. Last week's word was insensate. It's an adjective that means lacking sympathy or compassion, unfeeling. Get up and do all my chores even though you're still healing. The week before that, the word was assiduous. It's an adjective that means showing or done with thoroughness and great care, like how I carefully backcomb my hair. Going back before that, the word was lubber. It's a noun that means a heavy, clumsy, stupid person. Once you've called a friend that, your relationship may worsen. And not long ago, we had ubiquitous. It's an adjective that means present, appearing or found everywhere. So many men are growing facial hair. Let's never forget gallimaufry, which I pronounced wrong until nobody James Harder corrected me. It's a noun that means confused jumbler medley of things. Hodgepodge, who's podge, hodgepodge. Adam doesn't think my song is replicable, replicable, replicable. But I do, I do, I do, I do. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Left it all on the field there.
Bravo.
Ultra-crepidarian.
Well, I felt a tingling feeling as a result of that one, Paula Poundstone. That was fantastic.
Well, it's the greatest word, ultra-crepidarian.
It really is.
I've never come across it before, I don't think.
I have not either, and I'm the kind of person who would, sometimes be accused of possessing that quality. So I'm very surprised that I'm A, surprised I didn't know it, and B, surprised that I didn't pretend to know it just now. So there you go.
I'm surprised that somebody didn't write it on the dirt on the side of your car, for God's sakes.
Coming up, George S. Kaufman said, epitaph for a dead waiter. God finally caught his eye. We'll learn how to catch the eye of a restaurant waiter or hostess. That's next on Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone.
Lose a leg, lose a leg, lose a leg.
God damn it, Bonnie.
Do you ever listen to our podcast and wish you could interrupt us like Bonnie does? Well, now you can.
That's right. Paul and I have been doing live appearances on the Stereo app every week where you can ask your questions directly to us. Just download the Stereo app. It's free, and follow us at stereo.com/Adam Felber and or at stereo.com/Paula Poundstone.
Join us on the Stereo app for our usual uncensored opinions and exclusive content. It's exclusive content, Adam.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear that content anywhere else. The content that we do is exclusive.
It's just you and me, and anybody who's not listening to us on Stereo when it's live or later, they're just not going to hear it because it's exclusive. Totally exclusive.
You have to download the app, and then you have to open that little window door thing and say, Stereo sent us. And then we let you in.
We let you in, and you can comment. Just hear us. You get to talk back to us. It's really, it's magical is what it is, Paul. I think that's the right word, isn't it? Magical?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, that's stereo.com/Adam Felber or stereo.com/Paula Poundstone, and you'll get notified every time we go live, and we could do that at the drop of a hat. Stereo.com.
On this day in unremarkable history, Bathsheba's father, Eliam, said, "What do you think about the name Penny?"
And here we are back to this very special edition of Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. Paula, as you might have noticed, I don't know if you did, but all performance venues, including theaters, are closed right now. And I am being told, this just in, that this is making things kind of tough for comedians.
Yep. I do the thing where I walk up and down the street with a puppet theater with my head through the curtain of a puppet theater, and I tell jokes that way, but it doesn't seem to be paying the bills.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't seem to be.
So would you say you're looking for a new job?
I am looking for a new job, Adam. I want a job that pays money but is satisfying. I like people. I'd like to be with people.
Is there something that you thought to yourself the other day?
Adam, it's a huge problem. That's how I make my living. So I'm looking for a new job. And the other day I thought, restaurants are opening up again. Maybe I could be a hostess for a New York City restaurant.
Oh, that's a good idea. I mean, you've worked in restaurants before. I know you worked in a pancake house, and I know you were a dishwasher.
I've done multiple restaurant jobs. I've worked in 2 different pancake house chains. Plus, I used to serve my kids frozen waffles. So I've really kept my hand in the world of pancakes.
But have you ever been a hostess?
I was a hostess at Bickford's Pancake House on Speen Street in Natick in 1976, 77.
I'd imagine that might be a little bit different than being a hostess at like a schmancy New York City restaurant or something.
Well, I'm not sure why you would know, Adam, Mr. Ultra-crepidarian. I'm not sure why you would know that.
Well, I wasn't trying to be ultra-crepidarian so much as introduce our guest.
Oh, go ahead. Introduce our guest, would you?
Because fortunately, if you just said Adam, I don't know. Maybe I could learn something from a New York hostess. Then I'd be able to just kind of go into the intro.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam, maybe I could learn something about being a New York City restaurant hostess.
Well, fortunately, Paula, we have a veteran New York City restaurant hostess here on the line, and maybe she can help you see if you'd be up for the job. Yes, it's time for Career Corner, where we learn about the wide world of jobs. Would you like to be a fireman? How about a train engineer? Maybe you'd like to make a living as a spot welder. What can you do with your life? Career Corner has the answer. This week, let's explore a career as a restaurant hostess. Here to help Paula discover if she could cut it in the stressful, high-stakes world of restaurant hostessing is Tracy Willet. She was a New York City restaurant hostess for 12 years. Please welcome the aforementioned Tracy Willet.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here. As you heard, Tracy, my background in hostessing is not what would set me up for working in the high-stakes world of New York City restaurant hostessing.
Oh, I think with your sense of humor and your personality, you'd be set up no problem. The Pancake House experience is you can walk right in.
Oh, really? You think?
Yes.
Okay, good. It dovetails nicely. Okay, let me ask you this. Tell me what your job was specifically. Tell me what tasks you did as a hostess. Let's start there.
Okay. Well, when I first started, there's pretty much 3 pieces to a restaurant host. There's a runner, which is the person who is just walking the guests to the tables. You pull out the chairs. You make sure if they have kids, they have a high chair, coloring pages and crayons. You're just getting them set up at the table and making sure they feel welcome. There's the prep position, and this is the host who really manages people who are on the wait list. If it's a really schmancy restaurant, you're going to have a huge crowd going out the door waiting to get a table, and you go into the bar and really you're basically prepping people, letting them know how much time until their table's ready to settle up at the bar if they're almost ready. And then you have the deck host, which is like the maitre d'. This is the person that's really dealing with all the stress. They typically have a headset in their ear, and you have managers telling you, 5 more minutes until this table finishes, and so get the next table ready. You have bussers telling you the table's set and ready. Get them down.
And were your restaurants schmancy or fancy schmancy?
They were fancy schmancy. Yes.
Oh, do you want to name them? Can you name them? Which fancy schmancy restaurants?
I can't name them.
Oh, are you still in the business?
I'm not in the business, but I made my living doing that, I would feel awful if I said something to throw him under the bus.
It's not like you were CIA. You worked in the restaurant business.
I think she's making the right decision. I do.
Really?
So, okay, because we want to ask her questions like this. Like, okay, Tracy, did you seat attractive people in the most visible spots?
Yes. That was like, it's so bad, but yes, it was called, they actually have a word for it. It's called merchandising.
Oh.
And it really is like we were trained to, there's certain spots in the restaurant that are right by the window. And when people are walking by, we want them to see these glamorous people sitting there. So yes, we did have to do that. And obviously it's pretty subjective when you're the host. You can have a little fun with it, making that call and take a risk to see if your manager will call you out for that or not. But
so you would choose people that you found more like unique in their look and see if I see what you're saying.
At times, yeah.
But
sure.
But you would never be like seating a shoeless hobo with a bindle sack in the window.
I would like to say yes, absolutely, but no, I wouldn't.
Okay. Interesting. Just wanted to know.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this. If before everyone knew who Lady Gaga was and she came in and she was wearing that meat dress, would you have seated her up front or not? This is before people knew who she was.
Oh, man. I wouldn't have. But there is something to be said about New York and trendy. If you're unique, it's going to catch attention. It's going to grab people's attention. It may be, but probably not the meat dress.
I think the meat dress was just a bad call on her part.
Exactly. It might be a little too unique even for New York. And by the way, try to say unique New York 3 times fast.
It can't be done. It cannot be done.
It cannot be done.
Tracy, how do I go about getting a New York City hostess job? Is it who you know? Please tell me I don't have to fill out an online application.
You do not. I would not say you'd have to fill out an online application. It's really, if you have a friend who works in the restaurant, a lot of people get jobs by their friend referring them who already works there. Or I would say timing. Like if you are looking for a host job and you happen to walk in, there's a lot of turnover in the restaurants. And if you happen to walk in right at the moment where they are just desperate for a host, it might be perfect timing.
Then you get the job right then?
Yes.
What if you go in and you just bug the shit out of the host until they just throw down the waiting list and go, fuck it, I quit. And then you go to the manager.
You just step right into the role.
Looking for a job, hostessing.
Well, I don't want to brag, Paula, but I got involved in, I have to back Tracy up here. I got involved in the high-stakes world of Manhattan sunglass sales, and it was the exact same thing. A friend of a friend of mine was leaving her position at the South Street Seaport Sunglass Hut and recommended me for the job. In no time, I was an ultra-successful sunglass retailer.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, just throw that in there.
So you just stepped in and you already knew all about it?
I had to learn. I had to cram.
I was going to say, because I wonder if that ultra-crepidarian thing would play against you. In the world.
Actually, in the world of sunglass sales, where half the things you're saying aren't true anyway, it's very helpful.
Huh. Oh, I didn't know they lied to you in sunglasses.
Yeah.
All right. So are there... Tracy, Adam, I hope you don't mind if we step away from sunglasses for a minute and talk to Tracy about hostessing at a New York
Not totally comfortable with it,
city.
but I'll let this play and see where it goes.
I hope I'm not out of bounds here in any way. Tracy, is there anything you want to say about sunglasses to appease Adam?
Thank you.
I would just say that I can imagine that'd be a tough job trying to get people to buy sunglasses.
Really?
It's really not, Tracy. I think you're underestimating how tough your job was because it's really, really easy. There's always a sun.
It's easy to get people to buy sunglasses because they sit on them, drop them, lose them, and scratch them. So they're constantly buying sunglasses. What, are you kidding me? And Adam used to give this little cloth that had sand on it and say, use this for cleaning. And so people were constantly buying sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. They were scratching things up.
All right, Tracy, are there regulars at your restaurant? And are you supposed to know their names and, kind of chat them up a little bit?
Yes. There are all kinds of regulars. You need to know their names. You need to know where they like to sit. You need to know what they order. If they happen to show up without a reservation, they just decide spontaneously to come that day and you don't have their table available, you need to go to the table and talk to the person, the guests who are sitting there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You gotta, at the regulars, now not all regulars are like this, but a lot of them, they are extremely particular. And I mean, they'll tell you, we spend all our money here. We want our table. We come here all the time. Get them up.
Well, people want a sense of belonging. Don't you think, Tracy?
Yeah, no, I absolutely do. They like knowing that you're going to recognize them and you're going to give them that attention, and they know that you're going to make their food exactly the way they want it. And
it's just like that sentimental theme to this Cheers sitcom. You want to go where everybody knows your name and gets the fuck out of your seat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, author Pearl Buck said, to serve is beautiful, but only if it is done with joy and a whole heart. Is it possible to be a hostess with a joyful whole heart? We'll find out when we come back. The cat of the week is Teeny Bopper from San Antonio, Texas.
Only 8% of New Year's resolutions survive the whole year. Only 8%. Those are long odds for a lot of important goals, like, say, eating healthier. This year, you deserve a little help in the healthy eating resolution department. That's why there's Kenko.
Kenko makes seriously nutritious smoothies for seriously busy people. Expensive store-bought smoothies are sugar-packed calorie bombs, and fresh-pressed juices have way less fiber.
Kenko's breakfast smoothies are only made from organic whole fruits and vegetables, flash frozen and slow dried to lock in all the fiber and nutrients. Nothing added and no fiber taken out, and Kenko smoothies are easy to make. No blender, juicer, or kitchen needed. You can be off in the desert and make a Kenko smoothie. Go to Kenko.com, take their quick nutrition quiz, and fill your flexible monthly order with your choice of 15 functional flavors that match your goals and taste. I used the red. I'm looking forward to trying the others. The Kenko smoothie is delicious. All you do, you get a container to shake it up in and drink it from. They send you the powder in the tubes. You pour it in.
Tubes of powder.
And you add, measured water to it. And I can measure water. Let me tell you something.
Yes, you can.
Right now, you are listening to a water measurer. And then you shake it up. And honestly, it really is delicious. And here's another part that I love. The box can be composted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Start creating healthy habits right now. Go to kenko.com/Paula, pick out your flexible monthly plan, and the first 100 listeners will get 25% off your first order on your market. Set, go!
Oh my gosh, you're going to create a traffic jam. That's kenko.com/Paula and get 25% off, but only if you're one of the first 100. Hey, if you're going to try it anyways, use this special deal. 25% off for the first 100 listeners at KENCKO.com/Paula. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients, and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store. Hallelujah. And makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit.
4 out of 5 HelloFresh customers say HelloFresh helps them lead a healthier lifestyle with delicious, low-calorie, carb-smart, and vegetarian options available each week. And HelloFresh offers the flexibility you need with customizable orders every week. You can easily change your delivery days or food preferences and skip a week whenever you need to.
You know what? I have so enjoyed, I'm not a cook, but I have enjoyed preparing the foods only because after I did it the first time, it was so tasty that when I went to do it the second time, when I got another recipe and the ingredients,
Right.
I knew something really good was coming my way. And prior to using HelloFresh, I had no idea what to do with chickpeas. I was throwing them into the neighbor's yard. I was letting the cats
You were
play
basically
with them.
chickpea illiterate.
That's exactly right. I was chickpea illiterate. You might have seen me on late night commercials saying,
Yeah.
"Hello, I am chickpea illiterate." But this was an eye opener to chickpeas, and delicious.
Well, I love it too. And one thing that we don't have in common is that I love to cook, you don't cook a lot, and we both love HelloFresh for different reasons. That's America's #1 meal kit. You can try it at HelloFresh.com/12Paula and use code 12Paula for 12 free meals, including free shipping.
For 12 free meals and free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/12Paula and use code 12Paula. If you're going to try it anyways, try it with us.
And we're back with restaurant hostess Tracy Willet. Tracy, you kick people out of their tables to let the regulars sit down. How does that go? Is that awkward?
No, we typically, you walk over and very kindly and politely explain, this person comes here every day. This is their favorite table. They love being a part of the restaurant family. And
But I'm an easygoing guy, and I feel like I might, especially if it was a fancy restaurant, I might kindly and politely suggest that everybody at the restaurant go fuck themselves.
Me too.
Me too. So somebody's got and of course you're always talking to them when they just took a bite of spaghetti and there's pasta dripping out of their mouth and they're still trying to, twist the fork and get it in there, or they just had a bite of salad and there's a piece of lettuce.
And it's a $45 plate of spaghetti at her restaurant, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. And
so usually if the circumstances come to where we would need to move a table, then the table that moves gets complimentary round of drinks, or they are gifted.
Can we role play this moment? Like Paula and I are eating at your restaurant.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, all right. So Mr. Felber, are you enjoying your meal?
All right, so Tracy, how about it's me and you at the table, because Paula's going to be the hostess. She's going to be you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you and I are having a dinner. Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Felber, are you enjoying your meal?
I just want to finish this story. Thank you very much. So anyway, I looked at him and said, "That's not how you treat a prostate."
If I could just,
yes.
If I could just,
what do you want?
You see Mr. Winston over there standing in the doorway in that sharp suit and chapeau?
Yes, I see him.
He's a member of our restaurant family.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Could you top off this drink?
In a minute, I'll do it for free. But right now, what I wanted to say to you, Mr. Felber, is that Mr. Winston, who you see over by the door, kind of glancing over this way.
Oh, look, it's Mr. Winston. Honey, do you see Mr. Winston?
Yes, that's Mr. Winston. And he
I'm asking my wife. Excuse me, I'm asking my wife. Tracy, do you see Mr. Winston?
Is he the one with the? You said the chapeau. I see him.
Yeah. Tracy, honey, that's Mr. Winston, and he usually sits right where you're sitting.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
and
comfy chair.
Tracy. I think you'll find this chair over here near the kitchen so much more comfortable.
Wait a minute, hold on here. Are you suggesting that my wife and I leave this prime table that we've had reservations for the last 3 months?
No, not your wife and you.
Are you going to pay for the whole meal if we move?
I was going to have just Mr. Felber move. Mr. Winston would like
it's my
to
wife's
sit.
butt that's in that chair.
Yes, and that's the butt that Mr. Winston would like to sit with.
Ow!
Tracy, how am I doing? Am I anywhere near
so
what
well.
you would do? Yeah. He's a member of our restaurant family. In fact, he's the fucked up cousin
wrong.
who no one really likes to talk about.
Well, if he's a member of the family, I guess he gets to have dinner with my wife, huh? Show me that kitchen seat.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we're going to give you a little souffle cup of our tiramisu to go. We're going to...
Well, I feel like I've won something wonderful here. Thank you very much.
Here, Mr. Felber, I'll bring you over some to-go boxes, and you scrape your own food into them and then take it out.
Well, I have to say, this new chair is a lot smaller than I usually like them to be, but
Well,
and it seems to be a folding chair.
Yeah, and could we get a TV tray over here? Excuse me, could we get a TV tray for Mr. Felber? Mr. Winston's at the door with his chapeau.
And scene. Oh, that was wonderful. That was just wonderful.
Tracy, let me ask you something. If somebody came in to your fancy restaurant, right, and they brought a big bowl and said, you can fill this with anything I want, and then they took out a scale and weighed it, how would that go over in the restaurant?
They brought. I need to make sure I understand.
They brought their own bowl.
And they said, I can have this much food. Yes,
Okay.
they said, I can have this much food.
And then they brought a scale. I said, I want to weigh it. I want to know how much food I'm getting. Would that go over? You know, would you do that for only Mr. Winston, or would you do it for, Tracy Felber as well?
No, we wouldn't do that for anyone. We'd probably tell Mr. Winston that the kitchen weighs everything as it's being prepared, and we will make sure it's to the exact weight and preparation that the recipe calls for.
Right. But if it has to fit in a certain bowl.
All right.
We would we would tell that guest with the bowl that unfortunately, because of health code, we can't use their dishes that they bring from the outside. And
Okay,
I'm
well,
for real on that.
Bonnie's going to need to adapt to different strategy. then,
Let
I
me
guess.
just be honest with you about this. It's Bonnie who we're talking about. All right. She writes a column in Cosmo now. So has anybody ever taken umbrage, so to speak? Has there ever been like what's the worst thing that's happened to you in the role of hostess? Bad restaurant behavior.
Oh, the worst thing that's ever happened. The
worst thing.
Yeah, dish on some terrible customers.
One customer one night we were just slammed with. I was the maitre d', the deck, and we had probably about an hour wait, and a customer just did not want to hear it, did not want to wait. They were trying to convince me that we lost their reservation, and they basically just started cursing at me and telling me I'm this horrible human being, and I in that moment just started crying.
Oh.
Usually I could keep it together, but I don't know. It got to me that night. And I think that's what made it the worst, because I couldn't. I would say the biggest thing about being a host is that you just have to keep that face on no matter what. You have to keep the
And
face
what's the
on.
face?
they, smile, welcome. We love having you here, no matter how you treat me, no matter what you say to me. You got to keep that positive face on.
Huh.
And
wow.
I broke character that night.
Yeah.
Happens to us all some night or another.
You know what? I've cried working in restaurants before. I swear, it's one of. I don't think there's many jobs that bring you to tears, but there's something about restaurants.
Yeah.
It's the stress and everybody feeling like they should have what they get right now. Yeah.
Hey, Tracy, are you bribable?
Oh, yeah. Are you?
Can I bribe you? Like, can I walk into your restaurant and go like, hey, yeah, not for nothing, but I'd love to sit near the window over there. And, oh, look, I just dropped an $100 bill. Do you mind picking that up for me?
We can't. It is so tempting, but we couldn't. We could not take the money, especially when there were times when, like I said, if the wait was huge, it would be, we couldn't take it. But there were a few times when regulars would come in and you'd take them to their table and they'd slip you some cash.
Just to be nice?
Yeah, really, just to be nice and just to say thank you. I think they always appreciated, getting their table.
Well, sure.
Getting their specific table.
Yeah, sure. And man, moving me to the kitchen. But so you didn't take bribes, and that's a good answer. Now tell me the true answer.
No, we really couldn't. We could not take them. I know there are restaurants where you can, but at the specific spots that I worked, we couldn't take the money.
Well, for purposes of employment, Tracy, could you point me towards the restaurants where you can take the bribes? All right. So speaking of which, how much can I expect to make? When you got hired, did you talk to them about, or it was just a set amount of money? Did you talk money with the manager when you got hired?
You usually start at minimum wage,
mm-hmm.
And then, depending on like what position you're working as the host, if you're working as the deck or the maitre d', you'll make much, much more typically. And that position is, really like the boss talks to you about the image of the restaurant. You're the first person that people are going to see. You could be the reason that they stay or go. It's very image based, as you can imagine, and that personality based.
Well, you have a wonderful personality. I imagine that if
I gotta say, she was a little rude to the hostess about moving tables.
No, she rolled with it. She was role playing.
I'm with you.
So what about how you look? Did they tell you how to dress and stuff like that?
The people that I worked for didn't necessarily tell me specifically how to dress, but it was very, very, very obvious that you're going for this glamazon sex kitten type of look.
Really?
And how was that obvious without them telling you?
Well,
was your manager just like, you know what I like? Glamazon sex kittens. Just saying. Anyway, how are you today? Nice outfit.
No, here's a story for you. But maybe this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. But when I first started working as a host, I went through all the training, and then after about 2 weeks of being there, they put me on phones, which is like, it was in the basement.
Wow. Oh my God.
It was in the basement, and we called it the hole. It was this tiny little like box room in the basement. It was like Milton from The Office.
You don't wear a little black dress, that's 2 weeks in the hole.
Boy, I bet you came up with this sex kitten glamazon look after that.
No, I totally didn't. I was
You didn't get it.
My feelings were hurt, but then I was like, this is great. I don't have to go face to face with guests. I just take calls, and I can read when the phone's not ringing. So I think it was.
You didn't learn your lesson at
positive.
all. Yeah.
But it's very clear that, I mean, it could be different now with the political climate and the Me Too movement.
Right, because this must have been as much as 2 years ago.
It was definitely 2 years or more. But
okay.
But
I can guarantee you it's not different.
Yeah, it's sad.
Wait, I want to ask you one more question. How does a New York City restaurant make itself sought after? What do they do to make it the in place?
I would say a lot of it is word of mouth. A lot of it is celebrities going to your restaurant, and then it's written about in Us Weekly or whatever magazine it could be in. A lot of it is the gorgeous people eating there, and people want to be a part of that.
Well,
sadly.
Tracy, I can't eat everywhere.
And it's also,
Tracy,
I think a lot of it too is the food. There's so many.
What? No.
Honestly.
I lived in New York for a dozen years. It has nothing to do with the food.
There's those foodies, they love going to try all the new foods and all these cooking shows. There's a lot of celebrity chefs working at restaurants now, too.
That is true. That is true. All right. Well, Tracy, I have to thank you so much for sharing this information. What we're going to do now is take what we've learned and put it through something we call the Poundstonator. Paula, what do you now know about being a restaurant hostess, and could you do that job?
House band Zack Ford on the piano. You sound so great. Thank you for being here. If you could just give me a little bit of background music, and I will tell you what the Poundstonator spit out. I think I could be a New York City restaurant hostess. Mr. De Niro, hello. Welcome to the restaurant. We have your table set up for you right over here. Could I send over a Manhattan to get you started? Good thing you're not in Sherman Oaks, huh? And it's on the house, Mr. De Niro. We love having you, and I love your work. What else would you like to start with? Your server will be right with you. If you need anything at all, my name is Paula. You know what? My name's Paula, even if you don't need anything. Mr. Timberlake, Miss Beale, welcome to the restaurant, your favorite spot right by the window. Could I send over a bottle of Sauvignon to get you started? Your server will be right with you. By the way, I didn't see the Britney Spears documentary. Mr. Bono, so nice to have you. It'll just be a few minutes. I know it looks like there are a lot of empty seats, but we have a long reservation list tonight. Give me a minute and I'll fit you in. While I have you here, Mr. Bono, do you have any idea how your U2 album got on the music on my iPhone? Oh, you put it there. Oh, excuse me. Tina Fey, right this way. Sarah Jessica Parker, welcome. We'll get your server right to you because we know what you're doing in the city tonight. Mr. Seinfeld. Hold on, Mr. Bono, just hold on. Maybe while you wait, you can figure out how to get that U2 album off my phone. Excuse me. Miss Fay, Mr. Seinfeld just came in, and I was wondering if I could move you to a nicer table so I could seat him here. See how it wobbles? It's not right for you. It's so fetch. Right over here, Miss Fay. Mr. Seinfeld, right this way. Yes, I see you, Mr. Bono. Beyonce and Jay-Z. I've been rubbing on it. I've been surfing on it. Who would you like me to move for you? De Niro, over here. Pick up your Manhattan and your Brussels sprouts and get over here. Beyonce and Jay-Z are here. I don't care. I'm going to count to 3. You're not over here and you pay for that drink. If you like it, then you better put a ring on it. All the single ladies, all the single ladies. I'm sorry, Mr. Bono, we're closed.
Tracy Willet was a restaurant hostess in New York for 12 years. She was Toni Anita Hall's roommate, one of the Legion. Thank you so much for being on our show, Tracy Willet, everybody.
Thanks, Tracy. You were great.
Hey,
It was
This
a lot
is
of fun. I
wonderful.
appreciate
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
I'll take
you.
a table near the window.
Coming up, Ireland, the land where no man can touch its sod or breathe its air without becoming better or worse. That's what George Bernard Shaw said. We'll find out what Toni Anita Hall and Bonnie Burns think about Ireland, God help us all, when we return. I don't know about you, Paula Poundstone, but I feel like I'm always looking at a screen, now more than ever, am I right?
Yeah, we look at a lot of screens.
Yes, we do. And whether you're an avid news watcher or in some serious need of distraction, unplugging yourself is easier said than done. One of my personal favorite ways to rest the eyes and still get the content I'm looking for? Well, as you know, I kind of like the podcast, and I do it by putting in my Raycon wireless earbuds and listening to something great. And, you know, one of the reasons I love it is because I tend to do a lot of my listening late at night. And the Raycon earbuds, they fit beautifully into your ears. They're wireless, and unlike some of those other brands, there's no stem sticking out. So if I nod off or I fall off to the side, I'm not going to stab myself in the head, and I am anti-head stabbing.
Oh, and you always have been. You were raised in an anti-head stabbing home, and that's really carried over. Whether you're catching up on your favorite news podcast, binging an audiobook, or powering through your workout with a pumped-up playlist, a pair of Raycons can make all the difference.
And like I said, there's no dangling wires or stems to get in your way. Raycons come in a range of stylish colorways, but always with a comfortable in-ear fit for a more discreet look.
Raycons are built to perform anywhere and anytime with water and sweat-resistant construction and Bluetooth that pairs quickly and seamlessly. And with enough battery life for 6 hours of playtime, you can unplug for a while.
The best part, Raycon makes great sound accessible to everyone with wireless earbuds starting at half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycon's also offering 15% off all their products for our listeners. And here's what you got to do. Go to buyraycon.com/Paula.
That's it. You'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order, so feel free to grab a pair and a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/Paula. buyraycon.com/Paula. If you're going to do it anyways, try it with us.
Support for this podcast comes from CDW and Microsoft Surface and Teams. At CDW, we get the future of remote meetings works differently.
Oh, going right from lunch directly into a meeting, that could be awkward.
But with Microsoft Surface devices with Teams orchestrated by CDW, the future works better. Touchscreen and voice capabilities keep teams engaged and productive, enabling you to always collaborate with confidence.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining.
Psst, you have spinach in your teeth.
Thanks for the tip, man.
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/surface.
Fun fact, Coca-Cola was the first soft drink in space, and the first hard drink was whatever was in Buzz Aldrin's hip flask. And here we are, Toni Anita Hall. We got an email from one of our Irish listeners, didn't we?
We did. We did.
Why are you laughing? What is up?
I don't know.
Why is she laughing?
Oh, no, Bonnie, you're high. Just keep it to yourself.
Yeah, it's the ibuprofen. That's what it is. That's the ibuprofen talking.
There's been so many antics.
Yeah, and this is our third segment where things traditionally fall apart, but we got there early this week. So
we did.
You got an email from one of our Irish listeners.
I did. I did. His name is John, and he wrote, "You have a small but loyal following in Connemara in the west of Ireland. We are enjoying hearing a strange brew happening, growing ever more alarming as Paula, Adam, Bonnie, and Toni interact in the moment. Way cool. By the way, there are about 30 Thomas coins locally, and none of them could survive even a brief power cut. Anyways, keep getting better. As we say here, the crack is mighty. Schlon John. I think that's how you say.
Well,
SLA.
the crack is mighty?
Slancha. The crack is mighty.
What is that?
Huh?
Oh, I looked it up. I Googled it. Give me 1 second. I lost the page. It's enjoyable social activity. A good time.
Oh,
Crack.
great.
It's a noun.
Well, the crack
Okay.
shouldn't be so mighty during the pandemic, but, slancha, John. Wow, Toni, thanks.
Yes, thank you, John. We really appreciate that. Well, it makes me wonder, because we've worked so hard at making this an internationally appealing show.
Yes,
I don't
we
know
really
if people,
do.
I don't know if people noticed that, but
Paula Poundstone, the effort
And-
that you put in on a weekly basis to internationalize our appeal it's astounding.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is make it internationally appealing, but not locally repulsive. That's the fine line that I'm walking.
You're threading the needle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Everything I can do to make that.
Yeah. So
is there a wind?
what do you know about Ireland, Paula?
Is there a mighty wind blowing
Wait,
through?
Bonnie,
Is anybody else?
Bonnie.
What?
Has somebody unleashed the Kraken?
Yeah. Do you have like Chewbacca in your apartment? I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm frantically trying to find this thing that was part of my presentation that I accidentally got rid of.
You're also frantically nose breathing into your microphone.
Oh, I am?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Well, how do you know that's me?
Just because everybody else was talking.
Yeah. Bonnie, do you need to call your mother and have her bring something from home for you? Did you leave your poster on your bed and now you need your mother to bring it to school?
That's what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Bonnie, see if your mom will bring you your diorama. I was asking Paula what she knows about Ireland.
I know nothing about Ireland.
Have you never been there?
Oh, please. No, I've never been there. No, I'm not a big world traveler. Not that I wouldn't want to be, but I've always had this problem. What is it? Starts with a D. Debt.
Oh.
And so I've never, so I don't go many places other than work.
Well, I gotta tell you, Paula, and I want to say this: if you are one of our listeners out there from Ireland, see if you can get Paula Poundstone booked in your city, because I think Ireland and Paula Poundstone would get along together famously.
What I know of it is the movie The Commitments. Do you remember that movie?
The Commitments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember The Commitments.
Yeah. So I saw Ireland in The Commitments, and then, I think Christopher Plummer talking about either a beer or an antiperspirant or a soap, and that's pretty much all I know of Ireland. That's it.
Well, that was The Commitments was a movie about a Dublin band that played American R&B hits. So, yeah, that counts. Have you ever had a bowl of Lucky Charms?
Yeah, but I'm not foolish enough to believe that that's actually in any way representative of Ireland.
Oh, I am. But you know what? We can resolve that because we figured it was time for another in our series of reports on a far-off land by the team of Toni Hull and Bonnie Burns. Welcome them both. Bonnie and Toni, everybody.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have been tasked with reporting on Ireland, and Paula and I just can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Paula might really enjoy Ireland. I will say this. I thought that I knew a lot about Ireland, but it turns out I don't. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Ireland, you might think that the national symbol of Ireland is the shamrock, right?
Sure.
Guess what? It's the harp, and they're the only country in the world to have a musical instrument as its national symbol.
Wow. As an ultra-crepidarian, I will tell you that I knew that.
You know what? That's astonishing, and that's certainly worth fighting for right there. that they're the only country with an instrument as their what? Their symbol? Their
Yeah,
Yeah,
their
it's
national
their
symbol.
national. Yeah,
huh?
it's so lilting. Yeah. Okay, guess what? The Titanic was built in Ireland by 15,000 Irishmen in Belfast.
Wow. I didn't
Wow.
know that.
Was Leonardo
Huh.
DiCaprio
Either.
one of those Irishmen in the movie Titanic? He played some sort of guy who worked on the Titanic. Didn't that movie start in Ireland or something?
Oh, I think he did.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding.
No.
Okay, I don't think it's a tribute to Ireland that, the ship that went down came from there. So that can't be what they brag about.
Yeah, we might want to skip along here. What else, Bonnie? Keep us going. These are great.
Yeah.
Okay, the guillotine. I had always thought, France, guillotine.
That's what I thought.
It was used in Ireland before it was used in France.
What did they call it?
The guillotine. I don't know.
Guillotine.
That's a French word. I think your second answer, I don't know, is
No,
probably
they called
more
it-
accurate.
They called it, keep that the fuck away from me. Yeah.
Napkin.
Oh, he's got one of those head choppers.
Yeah.
It's the choppy thing. Oh, you better behave or you're gonna get the choppy thing.
Yeah.
I have two more before I turn it over to
Did you
my...
get this from the Downer Book of Ireland?
Yeah, I
These are
know.
not happy Irish facts.
I know, it's like guillotines and Titanics. Can you bring it up a little bit, Bonnie?
yeah,
No, I thought this was interesting information about Ireland. Okay,
definitely.
Yeah,
How
now
much meth
get
comes
to the
out of
cancer
there?
rate. Yeah.
Okay. I have two more things before I turn it over to my colleague, Toni Anita Hall. The White House, our White House, was designed by an Irishman.
I didn't know that.
And built by slaves. This is just getting happier and happier.
Okay.
It was designed.
Okay, well then I'm gonna give you two more facts since you said that. All right.
The potato famine killed how many Irishmen?
See, I have it. Yeah, right. Okay. The submarine was invented in Ireland.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many were lost? How many were lost on the first voyage?
Okay. Here's the last one. I'm going to close on a high note.
This is great.
Can
Go
you
ahead.
hear my
No.
dog Mo crying? Can you hear Mo crying? She's crying behind me.
But
Yeah,
she
she's
also
never
does
done
that whenever
before.
she hears Danny Boy, right?
Here's
Yeah.
okay.
She's just
There's no
Oh,
snakes
Danny
in Ireland.
boy, I hear the harp calling. There are no snakes anywhere on this island.
We invented submarines.
And we forgot to shut the door.
And if you need a head chopped off. Yeah.
Boy, avoid the guillotine.
Ah. Beautiful.
Woo!
Yeah, that was lovely. Was there one more fact you had? There were no snakes in Ireland?
Yeah. There's no snakes in Ireland.
Well, it's because of St. Patrick, right?
There are no snakes.
No, that's
There
the
are
myth.
no.
What?
What's a myth?
The myth is that St. Patrick, who, by the way, wasn't even born in Ireland, he was born in Wales,
Fucking
chased all the
carpetbagger.
snakes out of Ireland. But that's a
Oh,
myth.
that he chased the snakes out of Ireland? Huh.
Yeah. Do you want to know why there's no snakes in Ireland?
They can't get work.
There are no snakes. Yeah.
Oh, wait. I have one more. First
Okay.
St. Patrick's Day parade.
She has one
Not in
more.
Ireland.
What's not in Ireland?
First St. Patrick's Day parade.
Was not in Ireland? I'm going to guess it was in Boston.
You're so close. New York.
Oh, so close.
Now
First
I'm
St.
done.
Patrick's Day parade was in New York. And guess what?
What?
There were no snakes.
Hey, Toni Anita Hall, is there anything you can do to bring your grade up on this report?
I don't see how you can get any better than what Bonnie's done. This is phenomenal.
I know. I just want to kill myself. And I guess Bonnie has made me an honorary Irishman because now I feel suicidal.
God. Oh, Adam boy.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Toni. Go ahead.
So I lived in Ireland for one summer when I was an
Oh,
organic
fucking
farmer.
shit.
Okay, now
Everything we talk about, you lived there and you roomed with them and you did that job. You're goddamn ultra-crepidarian. You don't know all these things.
Toni, I need to ask you, if you lived in Ireland for a summer, rough estimate, how many roommates?
So I was what they call a woofer. So I lived with
A
families
woofer?
while I worked on their farm.
Oh, for Christ's sakes. You worked on farms?
That's
Do you remember
fantastic.
when I wanted to have like my eat, pray,
I
love
love this.
moment?
Yeah.
This was part of it. Yeah. Anyway, so I love Ireland.
No, I don't understand. Wait, what was part of you wanting to read Eat, Pray, Fuck?
No,
Why was that?
After I read Eat, Pray, Love, I quit my job and went backpacking, and I spent a lot of time in Ireland while I was backpacking, and I would live with people and help take care of.
It's hard to find your way out of Ireland, for sure.
farms.
Yeah.
You'd live with people and help take care of their farms. Did they know that you were doing this?
Yes, it's called woofing.
Ooh, it's that
Woofing.
wee girl that lives in the trees. She comes and takes care of her farm at night, she does. She's a woofer, we call her.
A woofer, worldwide workers on organic farms.
That's fantastic.
Anyway.
Oh,
Okay.
throw in the
so-
organic thing, why don't you?
Yeah. Make us feel bad.
So I lived in
Yeah.
County Limerick.
Tony,
anyway.
did you birth babies and then also work in hospice? Did you bring people into the world and help them out?
I have
and then you-
volunteered in hospice.
I knew it. And you fed millions, and you planted trees. If you planted a tree for every roommate and job you've had, the rainforest would be replenished.
Brazil would be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Tony. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do your report. Do your report.
Sorry
Here we go.
Sorry to
Okay.
interrupt.
While the average percentage of people with natural red hair is higher in Ireland than in any other place on Earth, still only 9% of Irish people have red hair.
Wow.
Only
know that.
9% does not sound like that little. I mean, in any to have like 3 redheads in any given classroom seems like a lot.
That's true. I guess I thought
Depends
it'd be
what
higher.
classroom. Yeah, I would have thought it would be higher too. Yeah, I would have thought so too. Yeah. I mean, one thing we may have learned is that Irish people can't do percentages. That
Yeah.
could be part of what we're learning, but I don't think so.
38% of Irish people masturbate more than once a week.
Well, all right. So clearly you've been reading Irish Cosmo.
Oh, Cosmo boy. Wow. 38%, huh? So when you work in an office and the boss throws the door open and he says, "Danny, could you come in here in a minute?" That's why he gives you the minute.
So
Oh, Danny boy, your pipes, you're stroking.
Oh my gosh. Adam Felber is going to be the editor of Irish Cosmo.
oh, that's so funny.
You're welcome, world. All right, Tony, keep
my
us
dogs
going.
my dogs are climbing onto the treadmill. Can you hear them? And I'm sitting on a chair on the treadmill.
They are so tired of this show.
No, they just don't like my part of it. I think if they had heard that pipes joke, they would be more than satisfied to be in the room with me. But now they're getting a little
instant career highlight for me. Tony, go on.
Instant career highlight. It's a strange Irish birthday tradition to lift the birthday child upside down and gently tap their head on the floor the number of times as their age plus 1.
Yikes.
Yikes, indeed.
Yeah. Tell me there's not a certain amount of emergency room visits on birthdays. That just come from growing kids and weak parents. Yeah.
And thank God they abandoned that tradition after childhood. Because can you imagine some poor man going like, oh no, I'm turning 101. I don't know if I'll live through it. So Tony, tell us some more about Ireland, the Emerald Isle. Ear.
So Irish people drink a lot of tea. They drink, on average, 4.83 pounds of tea a year. Only the Turks drink more tea per capita than the Irish.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a lot of tea.
What about the British?
That's a good question.
The report's not on the British. The report's on the Irish. The Irish people have bought almost 500,000 copies of 50 Shades of Grey, and almost 1/3 of Irish couples fantasize about trying out some 50 Shades of Grey antics.
1/3?
1/3.
That's surprising.
Yeah. You'd think they'd be busier than that.
Yeah.
So, well, they fantasize about it. They haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't. Yeah. This is really. I have to say, I don't feel that I'm fleshing out a great image of Ireland here, but okay, keep going.
I feel like Bonnie told us all the sad stuff and Tony's going towards some of the odd facts and figures.
There's the more salacious. Yeah. Let me just say that neither of them are going to be hired to write the travel brochures.
No, we're giving you good stuff.
Uh-oh. Bonnie's back.
Very good stuff.
What's up?
Well, okay, for one thing, I just want to share something that's kind of interesting.
Uh-huh.
The Irish surnames that start with Mac mean son of.
Means son of?
Son of,
Yeah,
yes.
and the ones that start with O means grandson of.
Oh, I did not know the O part.
Or yeah. So,
Right.
In fact, when Irish people discover something, they say, grandson.
Here's some good things.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. They were the first country in the world to legalize gay marriage.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Which is really interesting because 88% of the population is Roman Catholic. So I don't really quite get that. But anyway.
Again, they're not good at tallying percentages.
It turns out it was one guy, but
88% of Irish people are Roman Catholic. Okay, so they were the first country in the world.
No, you're misinterpreting that. You're thinking that if you take the population of Ireland and you put 88% of people in one section and then there's 12% that you could divide them up. You're thinking, but what it is 88% of each individual Irish person is Roman Catholic.
I have to be honest with you. 12% of me is Jewish.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight
Which
up
is why they were
12%.
able. Yeah, exactly. That's why they were able to be the first, proudly, I would hope, be the first country to legalize gay marriage.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Bram Stoker, the guy that wrote Dracula,
Yeah.
Irish.
Sure. Oh.
Yeah. Also Samuel Beckett and James Joyce. I mean, they have a lot of great writers in Ireland.
That's true.
Do you guys have a grand finale for this report, or is this just going to be factoids?
Tony does. Tony
Huh?
does.
I do?
Tony
I do.
Okay. Well, this is my signal to you that it might be time for that.
Bring it home, Tony.
We haven't even talked about leprechauns.
Oh,
How can you
Faith
talk
Megora,
about
we haven't.
Ireland
Tell us, step up to the mic and tell us about
talk-
it.
Do you know that there aren't any female leprechauns?
What?
Huh.
Well, no wonder they favor gay marriage then.
I didn't know that.
Also,
I never even thought about it.
Yeah, there are no female leprechauns. And leprechaun means small body.
It means little body?
Yeah.
And
Right.
I didn't know that.
Did you know that leprechauns have a troublesome cousin called the claricon?
No.
Yeah.
What's a claricon?
A mythical creature that shares many characteristics with the leprechaun. These beings are always described as drunk and surly.
Oh.
Well, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Is that the big finale?
There's also CPAC on. Did they mention the CPAC on? Which are described as drunk, surly, and kind of idiots.
All right, well...
Wait.
What? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that claricons are troublemakers as the night form of leprechauns. After a hard day's work, these bearded fairies get so tipsy that they become entirely different species. What does that remind you of?
Me?
You know, it could be the Advil. They could be on Advil
No,
and
gremlins!
ibuprofen.
Gremlins!
Oh, gremlins.
Oh, gremlins.
Gremlins.
Oh.
Yes.
I missed
Oh.
that.
Nice. Nicely done.
Also, blasphemy is still illegal in Ireland. The end.
Oh, blasphemy is illegal?
Wow.
Still
that was
illegal.
the end?
That's the
Jesus
end.
Christ.
I got to say, you guys have done an amazing report. I mean, hands up, but you
You're
have...
amazing.
You failed to stick the landing
definitely.
yet again. I mean, like, you need a finale for next time.
Okay, you know what? The fucking North Pole had a landing that you just, like, walked all over. I haven't forgotten.
Well, at least we're not holding on to resentments from long ago.
Yeah. Tony, do you carry those in a backpack? How do you do that? Wow. Yeah.
That was spring-loaded, Paula. Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was amazing. That was you.
Look at North Pole.
You know, you walked right into that. In fact, she purposely didn't have like a big finish, hoping that you would reference the North Pole, and kaboom! You know, and the thing is, I can tell you when the listeners hear this, they're all going to go, "Why are you guys so mean to Tony? Why are you guys so mean to Tony?"
Yeah,
but
I know.
what they don't see is the how she sets it up, how she lays like that game, that game Mousetrap, how she lays out one thing carefully after the other, and all of a sudden you sprung it, and there's Adam inside that little red trap.
Which is why there's literally dozens of roommates out there nodding and saying, "Yep, that's why I moved out."
Oh my God! Yeah, it's not just roommates either. It's farm owners all throughout Ireland.
Right. Yeah, she's like a sister to me. I don't talk to my sister.
Yeah. It's farm owners and a lot of farm animals that were just caught, by Toni in the way she lays a trap.
Well, all character assassination aside, I want to thank Bonnie and Toni for that amazing report on our new listenership in the country of Ireland. You guys have done more to internationalize our show than any of us.
Yeah, really. It was a wonderful job.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Please.
If you go to the Limerick Milk Market on Saturdays, make sure you pick up some jam from the Green Apron, because that's the family I used to work with, and they make amazing jam.
That's a wonderful plug. Very specific, but very wonderful. Hey, Paula Poundstone, what's going on in your Poundstone product empire this week?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not selling any jam. Adam, Poundstone Industries, a subsidiary of Lipstick Nancy Incorporated, is humming along like a finely tuned machine.
Of course.
Faux spring will be here before you know it, those warm days just before you're hit with another snowstorm. And faux spring is the perfect weather for my remarkably soft tri-poly blend t-shirt in baseball or standard style with the self-portrait on the left breast and a memorable quote on the back. Get yours at paulapoundstone.com and click on the store tab. I'm also available to make a video message for you to a friend or loved one for an occasion, or maybe just to lift their spirits. Order at cameo.com/PaulaP33. That's cameo.com/PaulaP33. And of course, many people know this, I can't say more right now because of ID.
Heidi. Well, listen to my Starburns Sports simulcast. If I can piggyback on you, Paula, that can be found on the Stereo app. Just download the Stereo app. You can find me and Jeff Cesario calling live sporting events for free. And you know what? Adam Felber's got a new book and a new podcast coming, and I'm not telling you about it this week, just teasing you.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Adam's teasing me.
Sorry. Subscribe to this podcast. It's free. You'll get it every week at no charge. If there is a subject or topic you'd like to know about, please tell us. We're at nobodylistens-to-Paula-Poundstone@gmail.com. Once again, nobodylistens-to-Paula-Poundstone@gmail.com. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is hosted by Paula Poundstone and yours truly, Adam the Felber. Special thanks to our guest, Tracy Willet. Oh, you can seat me anywhere, Tracy. And thanks to you were fantastic, and our house band, Zack Ford.
Woo!
You can follow him on Twitter at Zack Ford. Our show is produced by Paula Poundstone, Adam Felber, Bonnie Burns, Ken Lezebnik, and Tony Anita Hull. Mixing by Michael Hoagie. Starburns production by Land Romo. And transcription services for the show provided by Transcribe Me, a premier internationally used transcription service. Use code Paula Poundstone when placing your order at transcribeme.com to receive an expedited service.
That's our show for tonight. Won't somebody please listen to me?
Bonnie girl, the pipes are calling, but you can't hear them 'cause things are in your ears.
Please take them out and try to listen carefully. Your tooth will heal from the aneurysm it has.
Oh, Tony girl, Cosmo is calling.
It's Irish Cosmo, and Adam Felber is the editor.
Oh, you'll find the prostate just south of Limerick County.
That grosses me out.
Starburns Audio, a podcast network.
Stereo is a free live broadcast social platform that enables people to have real conversations in real time. Listen to this. This is a clip from an earlier Stereo conversation between me and Adam Felber and our listeners.
Alberta, you're on the line.
My prediction for 2021 is fucking zombies.
Wow.
I really really?
Now, I'm going to
I've
ask for
never-
clarification here, because are you predicting that there's going to be zombies, fucking zombies? Or are you predicting that people are going to be fucking zombies?
That's what it sounded like. And I thought to myself, I've really never lusted after a zombie before. But we could go each other. That I'm not going to fuck a zombie, but but I'd be happy to chat. Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone is excited to offer our listeners a new way to interact with us.
To find out about the day and time, you can download the Stereo app and follow me or Paula. That's at Paula Poundstone or at Adam Felber once you download the app. Or keep an eye on our Facebook page or our Twitter feeds, and you'll know when the next show is coming up.
On the Facebook page or the Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone website, right?
That's exactly right. Go to www.stereo.com/@Paula Poundstone @Adam Felber, and then you can get started, and you'll be taken right to our pages. Remember, Nobody Listens to Paula Poundstone. We're having live audience interactive episodes on Stereo pretty much once a week now. So join us.